my beautiful divas and handsome gents. It is LA, the dating diva, back with another video. Sorry I've been gone. I know it's been a while since I've posted. I was on vacation in Bryanson. Also went to vacation in Houston, but I'm gonna try to post up at least once a week. Well, I'm back with another video, and this one's gonna be a really good one. This video is things to not ask, not say, not discuss, or not talk about on a first date. Number 10, asking a person, will they be your girlfriend or boyfriend? That's not a good thing to ask on a first date because you're on a first date and it puts your person that you're on a date with on the spot. Let's say that they're not thinking on that level of wanting to be tied up or hooked up or whatever, and you kind of put them on the spot by asking them if they will be your boyfriend or girlfriend. You never know, the person you're on a date with may already have a boyfriend or girlfriend. So you want to make sure you stay clear of questions like that, because you don't want to put a person on the spot and make them feel obligated to say yes. Or then what if you ask them to be your boyfriend or girlfriend and they say no? That would be very awkward. Okay. Number 9, where do you see this or us going? That's another really on the spot type of question you don't want to ask, because a person may just be wanting to date casually. They may not be seeing it going anywhere. And like I said, you don't want to have a on the spot type of question. If you ask a person, well, where do you see this going? So now they have to sit there and think about where they want it to go. You may be thinking you want it to go a certain direction and they may not be thinking that. So make sure you don't want to put a person on the spot. You could really mess up a first date by asking a question like that. Okay, so let's steer clear of where do you see this or us going. Number 8, when are we going to see each other again? Again, these are such on the spot questions. The person may not know. What you actually want to do on a first date is get through the first date. Okay, you want to make sure that that person had a good time. You want to make sure that they, felt very comfortable. So asking questions that will put them on the spot, that may make them feel uncomfortable if you say, well, when are we going to see each other again? Because they may want to see you in 2 weeks. You may want to see them the next day. So it may not coincide with how they feel. And so again, it's going to be a very uncomfortable on the spot type of question. So let's just steer clear of questions like that. We want a person on a first date to be very comfortable and very relaxed. Okay. Number 7, please do not discuss money, credit scores, taxes, things like that. How much money do you make per year, per hour? Steer clear of questions like that, because on a first date, it's really not any of your business how much a person makes. You don't want a person to be on the spot and say that they make a low amount. Like, let's say they make 100,000, but they tell me, oh, I only make 50. Or if they make 50 and they say, oh, I make 100,000. So they're lying and saying things that are untrue. You just want to steer clear of any type of money questions, because like I said, again, that would make a person uncomfortable. You don't want to put a person on the spot, and that's really personal. So on the first date, you really are just trying to get to know the person, but you don't want to sound like you're digging for information that you really shouldn't be digging for on a first date. So let's steer clear of all money and how much money do you make type questions. Okay. Number 6, do not ask a person any type of, if they've committed a crime, if they've been charged with a felony, if they've spent time in jail, things like that, because you don't want to put a person on the spot. And see, let's say if you ask a person, have you ever been in jail? And they say yes. So now you're looking at the person a certain type of way, and it's influencing your decision if you want to see them again, because it could have been something light like traffic, and you're just thinking the worst. Every person that's been in jail hasn't always been in there on a crime or something they did horrible, things like that. So on a first date, let's steer clear of anything having to do with felony records, crimes, jail time. If you're locked up in prison, in the penitentiary, let's just stay clear of that on a first date. Number 5, and this is a good one. Don't ask any questions pertaining to a person's ex. And when I say ex, I mean ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, ex-wife, ex-husband, and do not ask about the parent of their children if they have children. And I'm going to tell you why that's not a good question. If you get on the subject of a person's ex, you're going to be on that subject all night. And I'm going to tell you why. Now I'm going to tell you why this is not a good question. Let's say that a person has a real issue with their ex, and then they're all the whole night, oh, well, my ex this, my ex that, and then you're going to be on that all night. Then you're going to be upset because they talked about another person all night. Also, it can backfire if, let's say you're dating a person and they're still cool with their ex. And they're, oh, well, my ex is so you still, like I said, either way, if they're cool with their ex or they can't stand their ex, that's just a subject you want to steer clear of on the first date. Because depending on what they say will maybe influence you you might be like, you don't want to date that person again, depending on what they said. Okay, so let's steer clear of questions like that. Number 4, do not ask a person, can we go back to your house? You want to come over to my house on a first date? Remember, we're not going to do that. So do not ask a person that, even if you think they may say yes, that just puts a person in a really uncomfortable position and puts them on the spot. Because what if you're liking the person and you do want to go back to their house, but on the first date, it could just lead to all kinds of things going left. Okay, because a lot of times, and this has been my experience, a person may say, oh, let's go back to my house, I'm not going to try anything. That just means they will. So let's steer clear of that. Let's not put ourselves in any uncomfortable positions. Let's not put ourselves in compromising positions. Because a lot of times when a person says, oh, let's go back to my house, nothing will happen. Or can we go to your house? Oh, I won't try anything. That means they will, because if they were not going to, why would they even say that? Number 3, do not ask personal questions. And what I mean by personal questions, men, don't ask a woman about, like, say, her cycles, or don't ask, what's your favorite sexual position, things like that. On a first date, we don't need to know these things, okay? That's just putting a person in a really bad position. As far as you're putting them on the spot, you will make them feel really uncomfortable, and then they're going to look at you a certain kind of way. And believe me, most of the time, if you ask a question like that, this first date is going to also be your last with that person. So let's steer clear of questions like that. Number 2, and this is a really good one. You all may think that this is an innocent question, but I'm going to tell you why this question is not good. If you ask a person, are they seeing any other people? You don't want to ask a person on a first date that, because, and I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, let's say that the person that you're on the date with is seeing other people. Do you really want them to tell you that? Oh yeah, I'm seeing 5 other people. Well, I'm seeing 5 other guys, or 4 other girls, or so now you're sitting here thinking about, okay, who are they seeing? What are these people like? And how do they know them? And how long have they known them? And then your mind is going to start toiling and wondering. And on a first date, if they're seeing other people, that actually doesn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're trying to get to know that person. So if they're saying somebody else, well, right now they're saying you. They're on a date with you, okay? So concentrate on you and what you and that person have going on. Because if you two are going to lock in, and like I say, that would be in the future, then what'll happen is those other people are going to slowly fade away. Last but not least, question number 1. This question, oh my goodness, please don't ever ask anybody this on a first date. Do not ask, when was the last time you had sex? Sorry, don't ask a person that. Do not ask them that. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, that's a very uncomfortable question. That's none of your business. Why would you need to know that? It wasn't with you. You know what I'm saying? Just steer clear of a question like that. And I'm going to tell you how I even came up with a question like that. I would have never thought of that, except it was a while back and I was online with this guy and he asked me that. And I was like, that's such an oddball question. Okay, please steer clear of a question like that, because the answer doesn't matter. What if a person said, you ask them that, they say, oh, right before you pick me up for the day, oh, last night, this morning. So it doesn't matter what their answer is. It's none of your business. Stay clear of a question like that. Okay, also, I wanted to let everybody know, I know I did my top 10 of questions to not ask on a first date, or things not to talk about or discuss. I also had 2 bonus ones. No questions or discussions regarding religion or politics. Okay, this is LA, the Dating Diva. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video.